Have you ever just had one of those days where you need to get away? One of those days where you need to break away from everything and just go for a walk and refresh your soul? I'm having one of those days, and I'm going out today. I've come downtown here. I'm going to get a latte. I'm going to get on this river trail. I'd love to just share some thoughts with you along the way and maybe do some shooting. Come along, my friends. Cheers and happy Friday, my friends. I appreciate you taking time to click on this video. In this little journey today, I want to share with you 3 things that I think are very important to learn young in life. These are things I wish I would have learned a little earlier on. I may stop and shoot my slingshot along the way, but I hope you'll come along and take this journey with me. It's a gorgeous day. I think we're going to have a good time. To plan or not to plan, that is the question. You know, growing up, I never had much of a plan. Got into martial arts at a young age, and I started playing music at a young age, and you know, I became kind of a hobbies-driven kind of guy. Was not very focused at school, was not really focused on much of anything other than having experiences, which there's nothing wrong with that. I lost my cousin who I was really close with at an early age, and you know, my way of coping with his loss was, you know, becoming really close friends with all of his friends from school. And it became a huge distraction. My teenage years leading on up into my adult life became all about, you know, chasing them around, hanging out with them. And I never really had a plan. I will tell you, I paid the price for that throughout my 20s. Here's my thoughts on having a plan. I think it's important to have a plan for life. If you don't have one and you're an older man, it's good to start putting some plans together, because as a young man, I wished I would have had some plans. Here's the thing about plans. It's good to have one. You just have to know that they can be interrupted. And it's okay. It's better to have a plan and that plan get interrupted than to have no plans at all. I was a very distracted young man, and I wish I would have learned early on that no matter how much fun I was having, or no matter how much I wanted to have lots of experiences, in the midst of all that, there needed to be some grounding and some planning and some responsibility. It always pays off, even if you have to deviate from it a little bit. It goes back to something I said in another video a couple of months back about the power of being proactive instead of reactive. You know, we can push the day around if we want to, or we can be pushed around by the day. Being proactive has never kept me away from having good experiences. I think sometimes we just want to go with the flow, but I think there's a lot of danger in that, and I think that we can find ourselves getting left behind in a lot of areas when we don't have the grounding that comes with being a proactive person, being a planner, and being extremely responsible. I used to have this mentality that things would just pan out. I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe that things would just pan out. And I'll never forget something that Sylvester Stallone said in the movie Over the Top that didn't resonate with me until later in life. He told his very spoiled, rotten son in the movie that the world meets nobody halfway. If you want something, you got to take it. I'll never forget being about 27 years old and in and out of several different jobs over the last few years, trying to find quote unquote happiness in my career life. And I was tanking in so many ways financially, and life was seemingly falling apart. I had put in some applications for a job and landed a really good job, and I was telling my friend about it, and I was like, man, I really think I can anchor down here for a while. And that particular company I ended up working at for 10 years exactly. He said to me, he said, bro, that's awesome, but I want to tell you something. Until you develop consistency in your life, until you learn to press forward and keep going, he said, not a thing in this world is going to work out for you. So many people keep circling the same mountain because they don't know how to press forward. They don't know how to take the hits. Every time the honeymoon is over, they quit. Every time they no longer feel good about it, they quit. Until we develop consistency in life, we don't grow. Anything good in this life is going to be worth fighting for, and we're going to have to fight for it from time to time. People quit things too early nowadays. Every time it gets uncomfortable, we run for the hills. But the problem with that is we keep starting over. So many people in this world today that are successful because they simply stayed the course and they didn't quit every time it got hard. We've got to drop our anchor with certain things in life, and we got to stay the course because it is so easy to quit. Life isn't going to make anything easy, and I'm talking about marriage, parenthood, your career life, dreams that you may have, serving God. None of that stuff is easy. It all comes with challenges. Things get old and we want to quit. But the reality is we will not prosper in any way whatsoever until we develop consistency. I learned that pushing 30, but I wish I would have learned it sooner. Target with me today, but I just finished my latte. Now I have my target. Scout XT, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel 1, coffee cup 0. Just barely nicked it on the side, but we didn't take it out. You know, I think all of us, for the most part, are in that pursuit of happiness each and every day. We're all going after the things that make us happy. I hope you are, at least. I have recognized over time that there is a difference between happiness and joy. Joy for me is that inner sense of peace I have with God, but so often happiness is linked to circumstances and feelings. I would like to go back and tell my younger self that my character is not going to be developed that much in the good times. Our character really isn't developed when we're happy and we're feeling good and everything seems to be going right. Our character is developed when all hell comes against us and we continue to press forward anyway. Our character is developed in tough times. Tough times is a very inevitable part of life, and I don't think a lot of people have accepted that. A lot of people give up. Our character is going to be developed in difficult times. We worry more about our comfort, but in reality, our character is more important, and we can't develop a lot of character if we're comfortable all the time. Just about every good thing in my life that I've been able to do and experience has been birthed from struggle, not from good times. Friend, your perspective in the midst of trials and tribulations in your life, your perspective can be a launching pad or it can be a prison. It's my hope and my prayer today that you will develop the kind of perspective that says, I will get through this, I will be stronger because of this, and I will be able to help more people going forward because of this experience. In reality, these are not just things I would say to the younger me, but reminders that we need today. We need to be reminded that it's a responsible thing to be proactive and to make good plans, knowing that our plans may change. Nevertheless, we're not being ignorant and irresponsible and just saying what will be, because planners and people who are proactive do get ahead. It's important to remember that we must be consistent in all that we do. If we keep quitting, we have to keep starting over. It's not always going to be easy, but that is no excuse to quit and continue starting over, circling the same mountains. Lastly, our character is developed most in the discomforts of life, but we can come out stronger on the other side and help other people. God bless you.